Welcome to SVG TV News for Wednesday, December 13, 2017. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Come January or February 2018, Judge Esco Henry will determine if the ballot boxes in the December 9, 2015 elections will be examined. Justice Henry made the pronouncement this afternoon on day 2 of the election petitions case, where arguments were put forward by Queen's Counsel Anthony Astaphan, who is representing the respondents, and lead counsel for the petitioners, Stanley Stocky John. John said that the outcome of the decision will affect the outcome of the case quantitatively as well as qualitatively, and reiterated their position that some of the ballots of the December 9, 2015 general elections were defective. Astaphan, a counsel for the respondents, referred to other cases to validate his arguments in court today. He reiterated that a petition hearing must never be efficient expedition and that evidence of irregularities must be presented first instead of being sought after. As they exit the court today, the lawyers for the respondents had an air of self-assurance and are of the belief that the arguments they put forward will be justified.
You confident?
I don't discuss my cases, remember?
Lovely day. I think everything went well. We're just trying to assist the court by putting the information to her. So we'll see what happens. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Any comments, Mr. Kentridge?
No, unfortunately, none today. Merry Christmas, though.
Merry Christmas. So how do you feel about the arguments put forward?
I think there was a good hearing today. Very interesting arguments on both sides. I look forward to the judge's decision.
The lawyers for the petitioners, on the other hand, are of the view that justice will be carried out. They also press the point that the people have the right to know.
Both sides put up good arguments, which the judge should decide.
You know what I'm disappointed in? We are at the stage 2 years later where we should have been 2 years ago. Because had the respondents admit the truth, which is that all those over 300 ballots did not bear the official mark, we would not have been here today. We would have dealt with it then. But you have the supervisor of election putting on oath and on truth that all those ballots were pre-printed. Why did she do that? To get away from our assertion that they did not have the mark on them. And so we, after 2 years, we're back to the same spot. Basically, that is what it is. Because they have now admitted that maybe over 700 persons will have to be disenfranchised, which, according to our case, means that the whole election should be declared void. So we're just going round and round in a circle. They have one aim, to delay, and it seems to be working. And so I'm a little annoyed at that because I think the people's rights are being trampled upon. I think to defend that point, they have 10 lawyers paying taxpayers' money, and it is disgusting. Very disgusting. However, I have confidence in the court that they would see through all the shenanigans they have done. I am disappointed that you have 2 lawyers who are QC that we are paying who could not admit the truth again that Form 7, the ballot that they use in Central Leeward, is erroneous. According to law, it is wrong.
Well, of course, we have said that the ballots were defective and there were myriad irregularities, etc., based on which the election was not conducted consistent with the law, and that also the result may well be affected.
Viewing the court proceedings in a positive way, a leader of the opposition New Democratic Party, Dr. Godwin Friday, said that he was impressed by their legal team and that his party remains resolute.
Let's think about the outcome. I think our lawyers did extremely well in presenting our case, and we wait for the judge's decision. Of course, whenever there's a decision to be made, we want it to be done as quickly as possible, naturally, because we've been waiting for a long time for a decision on this matter. And so anytime it takes time to get anything done, we are disappointed in that aspect, but we understand that this is the nature of the process, and we look forward to a positive decision. You know, we have been at this for quite some time. Most of us will say too long. 2 years is a long time for a petition to be going. But we are resolute in our commitment that we will see that justice is done.
Dr. Friday said that the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines deserve to know the truth and is hopeful that the matter will be settled soonest.
The judge has said that we will get a decision sometime in January or February at the latest. Naturally, we hope for January, and we are looking forward to the outcome and the final resolution of this case, because I think the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they deserve to know that the government that is running the country is a government that is elected, and that is what's at stake in this petition. It's not a situation where you have 12-3 and you're fighting over one extra seat or not. This is actually the government. That's why it's so important that we have a resolution as soon as possible, and we look forward to that. And anything that gets us quickly there, we would really hope for. And when the decision is rendered, we hope that the matter will be expedited, as the Court of Appeal said, as quickly as possible, and we get a final resolution of it, so that people can know in this country that what the status of the government is. We believe it's illegitimate because the matter is still very much contended in the court, and we hope that that will be the final outcome.
Our news team used the opportunity to get the views of some of the people outside the court today about the proceedings.
Just want everybody must come in love and unity, and whatever the judge gave us, we will take.
I think the two lawyers were wasting time, and we need the ballots back into open.
Justice will be served in Jesus' name. God is in the midst of everything. Amen.
Stark it done, free work it done. Proper work, and that is what I want. Victory. I know where they come in.
All I want is the ballot box to be open. If they don't hide in something, I need them to open the ballot box. We are fishing in, we have the hook, we will catch the fish.
In other news, seen as an important pillar in SVG's developmental trust, the fisheries sector is set to see a number of advancements as the Ministry of Fisheries continues the process to privatize all local fisheries centers. To this end, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines earlier today signed a lease agreement for the Bequia Fisheries Center to the Bequia Seafood Company Limited, which is a joint business venture with the Miami-based Sustainable Alliance. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
Attempt to enhance SVG's fisheries sector, the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries, Labour and Rural Transformation has set out to privatize the operations of the fisheries centres across the nation. As part of this venture, a lease signing ceremony was held earlier today, Wednesday, December 13th, between the government of SVG and the Bequia Seafood Company Limited to officially hand over the running of operations at the Bequia Fisheries Centre. Noting that opportunities to expand the local fisheries market and gain foreign investment have arisen through the commencement of operations at the Argyle International Airport AIA, Fisheries Minister Subota Caesar outlined that with some several hundred persons earning livelihoods through the sector, actions must be put in place to enhance the sector.
In order to properly prepare as a nation, we have adopted the process of the privatization of the fisheries centers here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Input Warehouse is now in control of the Kingstown Fish Market, and we are here this morning to witness the signing of a lease agreement between the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Mr. Eardley Simmons, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Bequia Seafood Company Limited.
Minister Caesar congratulated the management and staff of the Bequia Seafood Company Limited for their work thus far.
Company over the next few months will continue to refurbish the facility and will use the facility as a major point for the purchasing of fish, lobsters and conch for export. A trial shipment was done successfully from the facility by this company, 2 weeks ago, and that shipment was sent to Miami, and it included live lobsters.
CEO of the Beckwith Seafood Company Limited, Eardley Simmons, outlined that his organization will use the center to process conch, lobster and fish to be exported mainly to Miami.
We'll have another shipment this week and hopefully another one before the holidays, the Christmas holidays. Part of our plans to train fishermen in more modernized techniques of fishing, and we at Beckwith Seafood will buy every pound of fish, conch and lobster.
Simmons further expressed his hopes of seeing a growth in the local fisheries industry.
We know that this will improve and enhance the quality of life for the fishermen, the community, not just only in Beckwith, but throughout the country. And hopefully in a couple of years, we can help to build the St. Vincent and Grenadines longline fishing fleet, which would add tremendously to the development of St. Vincent and Grenadines.
Over the next 4 weeks, Vincentians will witness a signing of leases between the governments and various companies for the operations of the Obeah, Barley, Union Island and Calico fisheries centers. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG TV News.
The Traffic Department of the RSVG Police Force will continue to have a zero tolerance against reckless driving during this festive Christmas period. That's according to Sergeant Parnell Brown as he spoke with SVG TV News earlier today. Sergeant Brown said members of the Traffic Department are already out in full force to ensure the safety of all road users and warn against reckless driving.
We are also asking persons, if you are driving, do not drink. And if you are drinking, do not drive. We are stepping up our presence, our police presence on the road with our road patrols. And if you notice, our traffic officers are being seen on the road very late at night. This is to ensure that the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and visitors alike, we are keeping them in check and to make the road safer for all. I want to advise all motorists. This is a general information for all motorists that the Traffic Department would not tolerate any reckless behavior from any motorist on the road during this Christmas season. We are trying our best to make the road safer for our citizens and our visitors alike.
Sergeant Brown said exercising caution and courtesy would go a long way in preventing fatal situations and give some road safety tips.
The road users. We are also advising persons to cross the road where there is a pedestrian crossing. In areas where there are no pedestrian crossing, we are asking you to be very cautious and to cross when vehicles are not coming in your direction. Also, we are advising persons to use sidewalk where it is necessary, where there are sidewalks. We are advising persons to use sidewalks. We are also advising persons, because we know this is the festive season, the Christmas season, where we have persons who are reuniting with their friends and families and might want to go out on a little trip. We are advising motorists to have a designated driver to take you to and from your destination.
The police sergeant took the opportunity to wish all Vincentians a safe, productive Christmas season.
On behalf of the hardest working superintendent, Kenneth John, officer in charge of the traffic department, we want to wish all the visitors, motorists that are in St. Vincent and the Grenadines a very Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous 2018.
A set of woodwork and electrical equipment is being procured under a TVET development project supported by the Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB. The equipment has been placed at the Community College, the Division of Technical Education, the Technical Institutes in Barley, Camden Park, Kingston and Georgetown, as well as the Bequia Community High School, the Adult Education Center in Glen and Her Majesty's Prison in Kingston. Technical education instructors from these institutions were a part of the installation process and underwent training to operate and maintain the hand tools and heavy machines. A representative of the National Qualifications Department of the Ministry of Education said the equipment will go a long way in developing the skills of participants in the various TVET programs.
Have training without equipment. Now you know right now we are dealing with CSME and we are trying to get our persons ready to take advantage of CSME. And one of the things that we are embarking on is, as a training agency, is to prepare persons for the CVQs. So we're hoping that this would be an impetus for the, how should I say, to continue fueling technical and vocational education and to help us to deliver the CVQs in a more effective manner, because we are dealing with standards and you can't meet the standards if you do not have the proper equipment.
Officer of the Project Implementation Unit of the Ministry of Education, Timothy Scott, highlighted other work being done to improve the delivery of CVQs.
All these equipment came as a result of a number of factors. One such factor is that the ministry is focusing on training 1,000 students in technical and vocational education. So in order to have that training in woodwork, electrical, we needed to ensure that students are trained on instruments, machinery that are up to date. So hence the reason for such a project. We have some major construction under the city project to come. One such is the constructing of a science laboratory at Edinburgh, science laboratory at the J.P. Eustace Memorial Secondary School. We are also in the process of actually organizing to get some other construction in terms of something called what we call smart classrooms. These smart classrooms will be at Barley Technical Institute, Camden Park Technical Institute, Kingston Technical Institute, Georgetown Technical Institute. The Grenadines is not left out under the CDB project, so Tex would have went to the Grenadine island of Bequia and would have inspected the tools under the woodwork that were delivered there, and the ministry will be doing some renovation and addition to the building in Bequia at the Bequia Community High.
Instructors at the various technical vocational institutions express elation with the acquisition of the equipment.
Very grateful for these new machines. The most fascinating about these machines are the new technology in terms of safety that is put into them. And Mike and Keith did a great job in explaining the features on these machines, and we are more than capable, after they have come and shared their knowledge with us, to operate any one of these machines. And not only that, to make sure that they are maintained and always running.
I think the students will be very much overwhelmed by using them, and I hope that they use them to the best of their ability, and that they continue to maintain them and keep them up to standard.
One of the things that I particularly like about the new machines, the safety features have been upgraded. Okay, so that's a plus for both us as assessors and the students who are going to be using them. Okay? And I know these machines are going to go a very long way in enhancing our program. I know the students are going to be very excited about using them and creating their various projects from them. And just look forward to using them in the future and learning more about them.
We must apologize for the quality of the audio. Given primary school students here the opportunity to express themselves through the performing arts, the Ministry of Education on Tuesday afternoon hosted the finale of its 2017 Christmas Festival. No stranger to the winning circle, the Sandy Bay Primary School once again walk away with the Award of Excellence, with other primary schools recognized for their outstanding performances in their zones and the overall festival. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
Since its inception in the 1900s, the Ministry of Education's Christmas Festival has provided an avenue for the performing arts to grow, especially among primary school students. On Tuesday afternoon, December 12th, the ministry held its annual festival finale, which saw the participation of hundreds of students from primary institutions throughout SVG. Highlighting that the festival was never intended to be competitive when it came into being, Coordinator and Music Officer within the Ministry of Education, Dexter Bacchus, commended all participants for their outstanding performances.
However, that competitive element slipped in. I am overjoyed by the marked improvement in the numbers of schools. You can give yourself a round of applause now. And not just the numbers, but the presentations were, how could I say, out of this world. Even though today it is called the finals, there is no judging as such. All judging was done in the preliminaries. So today is just a showing of the best of the best. So if you are here, it means that you did well.
Coming out on top in the 2017 festival was the Sandy Bay Primary School, as they have once again walked away with the prestigious Festus Tony Award for Excellence, with the Torama and Stubbs governments also being recognized for their outstanding festival performances. The most outstanding instrumental performance went to the Lodge Village Government School, while the Georgetown government walked away with the most outstanding choral speech award. The Sandy Bay government gave the best test piece rendition, with the Torama government taking the best dance production. Most outstanding drama piece went to the Project Farm government, while the Stubbs government school copped the best vocal ensemble award. Awards were also presented to the zonal winners, which were the Sandy Bay Primary in the Georgetown zone, Diamonds Primary in the Union zone, New Prospect Primary in the Mariqua zone, the Stubbs government taking the Calaqua zone. The St. Mary's RC School won the Kingstown zone, with the Kittels government and Chateaubelair Methodist taking the South and North Leeward zones respectively. The Grenadines zone was copped by the Beckway Anglican Primary. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG TV News.